Thinking they're safe from the coronavirus. An Upstate preacher is saying he's recovered from the virus, but while he had it, he barely showed any symptoms. 7 News reporter Melanie Palmer brings us what he wants everyone to know now.
A Boiling Springs reverend here preaching a cautionary tale alongside his usual spiritual message. This all comes after he says he tested positive for COVID-19. A 4th of July holiday weekend like no other.
And we were invited to go to a pool, and my husband and I we didn't feel comfortable.
I wanted to go to a beach, would love to be by the water, but we just can't.
A little different this year. Normally we go to Lake Lure and we watch the fireworks there. They always have a big show, but that's canceled, unfortunately.
People like this photographer telling us they will be staying in for the weekend other than taking photos at a small wedding.
I love the 4th and I love to watch fireworks, but I mean the safety of everyone is the most important.
His heart was not fully devoted to the Lord his God as the heart of David, his forefather, had been.
A Boiling Springs pastor is included in that list of people that are being extra careful. He just tested positive for COVID-19. News that came to a surprise to him because he says he barely had any symptoms other than a slight cough.
Felt, just a little tickle in my throat. I mean, nothing unusual for me since I deal with sinus issues all the time anyway.
But Kirby says that tickle caught enough of his attention to get tested, especially since some other members of his congregation got positive results.
I hadn't run a fever or anything, but my test came back positive.
That's why Reverend Kirby has been masking up. He's also pushing for others to get tested too, even if you're like him and not experiencing severe symptoms.
We've got to do our part to try to put an end to this thing.
And until this pandemic is over, Reverend Kirby tells us he will be doing something he always does, walking by faith.
I'm going to believe that God is working all these things out for our good at some point.
Reverend Kirby tells us he will be sticking to social media to spread his message until things get better. In Boiling Springs, Melanie Palmer, 7 News.
Reverend Kirby is telling 7 News he is fortunate for what he's dealing with compared to some of the other cases within his congregation. He's been continuing to preach on Facebook.
Next.